Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with an Ezreal supplementary guide. Now of course yesterday we took a look at Ezreal's main build, and today we're going to be taking a look at an alternative build for Ezreal, and it's the Essence REAVER build for Ezreal. Now in my opinion, how good is this build? Well, it's good, much like the other build, but it has different strengths. Now the other build, the main issue with that build was the fact that you went for Manamune first, and going for Manamune first means you have a very weak early game. But you spike very hard in the mid game when you have the evolved Mirror Mana as well as Tri Force. Now with this build, you actually have a better early game with Essence REAVER, because Essence REAVER is a very early game focused item. And of course you're still going to have the same issue of having to build your Manamune and waiting for it to stack for a while, and then you have of course your Tri Force, and then you go for Sorrel's Grudge and the Riftmaker or Bork. So you have a strong early game, you still have to wait for Manamune to stack, and Manamune of course is still good. Honestly, for the explanation on the rest of these items, take a look at the video I released yesterday, because it's pretty much the same explanation. Of course, Lucidity Boots with Stasis or QSS, Tri Force, and we have Sorrel's Grudge. And the last item you can choose between going for the Riftmaker or the Blade of the Rune King, depending on the situation. If there's a lot of tanky targets, Blade of the Rune King is better. Otherwise, in general, Riftmaker is better. So there's an interesting part of this build, which basically is you don't actually build Essence REAVER right at the beginning. What I like to do at the beginning is I get Longsword for the starting AD in the lane. Then I actually like to get Tear of the Goddess to start stacking it immediately. And then I get Sheen to of course get the 900 gold spike of having the Sheen passive, and then I will build the Essence REAVER. Now, some people might just go for Essence REAVER at the beginning. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad idea, but I think that getting a tier early to start stacking Manamune is really important, because if not, you're gonna have a very long period of time in the mid game where you're not gonna have your second item, which is your Mirror Mana. And I think that the 900 gold spike of Sheen is just too good in the early game, in the early lane, to give up. So I think that these three items first, and then of course Longsword is going to build into Essence REAVER, so that's the way the build goes. So for the runes, once again, the runes and spells is the same story as yesterday. You go for Conquer, Brutal, which is going to proc on your Q, Bone Plating, as well as Nimbus Cloak. You could also go for Mana Flow, Ban, or Transcendence if you prefer, Exhaust, and Flash. So without wasting any more time, let's just jump into the gameplay. Okay, so now jumping straight into our gameplay. So I don't know how many of you guys actually watched both like yesterday's video and today's video. Like, I don't know how many people actually watched both the like updated complete guide and the supplementary guide. So I don't know if I should like repeat some of the important things that I said, or if I should just talk about some other things that are completely new. But anyways, I guess I should just briefly mention that, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, basically Ezreal works with any kind of support. Of course, there are some better combos, like poke combos, like for example, Ezreal Karma is actually a really strong combo. And Ezreal Nami is also pretty good, because you can poke with Nami's W and Ezreal Q. A very underrated but a very interesting combo is actually Ezreal Yuumi. Now why is Ezreal Yuumi good? Well, Ezreal, as we know, doesn't actually need or want to be buffed by a support like Yuumi or Lulu. But the reason why Ezreal Yuumi is very good is because Yuumi can poke with her Q and Ezreal can poke with his Q, so there's double poke lane, which basically makes it very hard for enemies to engage onto them. And if they do, Ezreal has mobility to run away, and since Yuumi is on him, Yuumi is really safe as well, because Yuumi will just run away together with Ezreal. So that's kind of one of the reasons why Yuumi is really good with Ezreal. But Yuumi will generally go ahead and buff like the top laner or like the jungle later on in the match instead of Ezreal, which is completely fine, and it is the recommended thing to do, because Ezreal, as I said, doesn't want someone to buff him. Anyways, jumping straight into the lane. Fortunately, we have a Braum Twitch. Now, Braum Twitch is really weak in lane, because Braum in lane absolutely sucks. He can't really do anything in lane except like block. So you can see here he's eating a lot of poke, even with his shield up. He's gonna be taking damage. So here you can see we're just poking out Braum. Just spamming spells and poking out Braum like what you can see here. Twitch in lane is also pretty weak. He does pretty good damage, but he is way too squishy compared to other ADCs. So Braum and Twitch is a really weak like lane, and they can't really do very much. So here you can see we're just abusing them with our poke. Here unfortunately Vi and Zeri both come in. I spot Vi charging up the Vault Breaker, and I flash before I get hit by the Vi Q, otherwise I would be dead. Thankfully though, I managed to hit the flash, and this basically wastes all of the time of the Vi and the Zeri. Vi and Zeri are still interested. Now, we both are at full health, by the way. Me and Nami are at full health, so I don't know what they see in the play, but although I will admit, if that Q hit me, I do think that I have a decent chance of dying, because Braum can jump forward, hit his Q, and I might be stunned by the concussive blows, etc. However, I still think that that wasn't a very good play by the enemy team. Either way, they both end up backing off. Did blow my flash though, so there is some sort of advantage generated for their own bot lane here. So here once again, I'm sticking to the game plan. I'm just pushing out minions. I'm trying to poke down the Twitch as well as the Braum. Now though, we are running a little bit low on mana, so we want to back and pick up the tier to, of course, get that mana in lane like that. And of course, we're going to begin charging it immediately by launching a couple of Qs in the base, and of course start getting stacks onto the tier. So now you can see we're running straight back into the lane, and the Twitch hasn't even managed to push in the entire minion wave yet. You can see here that we're actually getting the minion wave, and here we're actually preventing them from backing, because now we have an item advantage, and if they can't back, they're gonna be pretty weak. You can see here that even though you know, Twitch pops his ulti, we still end up getting the kill onto the Twitch, and then we get the kill onto the Braum. So it's a pretty huge deal that we stop their back there, because they only have starting items. Here Zeri comes in. I try to save Nami by exhausting her, but she still ends up dying. Pantheon comes in though, you know, to cut off Zeri's escape, and basically Zeri ends up trading her own life for Nami, which of course at the end of the day isn't really worth it. So we definitely came off of the play in a more advantageous position. Of course, I picked up a kill, Nami picked up a kill, and Pantheon picked up a kill as well, whereas on their team only Zeri got a kill onto Nami. So here I have enough gold for Sheen. I'm going to pick up the Sheen, and also build the Caulfield's Warhammer. Of course, that's going to build into my Essence Reaver. And yeah, so interesting thing about Essence Reaver is Essence Reaver actually procs on all of Ezreal's spells. So it even procs on your W, which is pretty interesting, because normally you want a W before you Q, but with Essence Reaver you probably just want a Q, because enhancing the damage of your Q is probably better than enhancing the damage of your W. Which is really interesting. I didn't think that it would proc on Q, sorry, on W, but it actually does. So that's just something to take note of. I mean, even if you proc it on W, it's not the end of the world, so long as you can proc your W. But yeah, definitely procking it on Q is going to be better, because that's obviously your main damage ability. So here, Dragon spawning in 10 seconds. Once again, we're just trying to poke down the enemy Braum as well as the Twitch, and trying to just chunk them out as best we can. Of course, we're not doing a very good job of it at that particular moment, because they're kind of standing behind the minions, which is, of course, a very wise thing to do. Here you can see Nami lands a little bit of poke onto the Twitch, but I can't really blast him because he's behind minions, and I can't blast over the minions. Here, I landed a hit onto Braum, and you know, they're chunked out slightly. It's not too bad, considering me and Nami are more or less at full health. Dragon is up, Pantheon is in the area, Vi is now in the area as well. Here I'm putting on the controller and starting up the Dragon. I'm not sure why Pantheon is so hesitant to just walk into the Dragon Pit area. He finally actually goes and engages onto the Vi. I end up picking up the kill onto the Vi, get the ult across both Braum and Ezreal. Braum goes down as well. Zeri's kind of getting caught by Pantheon, and we pretty much end up killing both the Braum as well as the Vi. And without the Vi around, this should be a free Dragon. Zeri is still trying to get some damage to the Ahri for some reason. I'm not sure why she's not getting punished. Ahri should just go straight onto her with the ulti and the charm, and we can just hop over and get a free kill onto Zeri as well. But anyways, Zeri gets away with that foolishly aggressive play, and here we are able to secure the Dragon. My team looks like they're gonna hit. Actually, they're not gonna hit towards Herald, because Pantheon has gone back to farming. But I think we could have actually contested the Herald, especially because we have Pantheon out. We have manpower to go to the Herald. You can see Vi here is doing the Herald on her own. Braum actually goes ahead, not Braum, Ornn goes ahead to try to disrupt her, and you can see Vi is now going onto the Ornn. Huge fight ends up breaking out. Vi flashes away, dashes away, and again my ulti ends up hitting nobody. But over here I'm going to try to defend the lane against the Braum, as well as I assume the Twitch is here. But here you can see I'm just going ahead to blast the Braum. I already have the Essence Reaver picked up, so you can see the Essence Reaver giving me a little bit of extra damage onto the Braum here. Now, here I gotta be a bit cautious, because Twitch is, we don't know where Twitch is. He could be invisible, and he does indeed. We caught him going invisible right at the tower, so we know that he's somewhere around here. My team ends up actually securing the Rift Herald, which is amazing, and they're making a play with the Herald in the bot lane to secure tower plane. So in the meanwhile, I'm alone. You can see Vi is in the river picking up the scuttle. So I'm a little bit afraid actually that I'm gonna get ganked by Vi from behind and get tower dive by the three of them. So here I'm gonna control ward the bush behind me to ensure that I'm not gonna get dived by Vi coming in from behind. Here I use the Essence Reaver enhanced ulti to clear out the wave. I guess the Essence Reaver, if you use it in your ulti, does give you a lot better wave clear as well actually, so that's probably something that's really useful. Another underrated usefulness of Essence Reaver. But here you can see we have Essence Reaver and Sheed, so we should be doing quite a bit of damage here. We of course need to back off because the enemy, I think like Zeri and Vi might be rotating here, so we do want to be cautious and not get caught out overextended. Zeri does end up going back to mid lane though, so now we know that she's not there. Only Vi might be here, so here we're just going to play a little bit more aggressive, try to get some more poke down, try to push the wave in. And here we get the ulti onto the Twitch, which does about half of his HP. And we're just getting autos and like Qs onto the Braum as well. I can see that the whole match, you can see that in a certain matchups, Ezreal in lane can be very, very strong. Some common misconception about Ezreal is that he's incredibly weak in lane. It's true against certain lanes, but into certain lanes like this one, you can see we're very, very strong against him. So here you can see Twitch tries to go in, we exhaust him, Vi and Zeri comes again. I don't know why they keep ganking us as a 4-man unit, but Nami ends up dying for it, which I guess they did get Nami's life. But here we're gonna have to just back off. We can just Arcane Shift away and we are fine. We did have to blow both summons though, but at the end of the day we do end up surviving, which is which is really important of course. So now we're gonna start building towards the Manamune. Of course now we're gonna get another Caulfield Warhammer, of course, to build into the Manamune. And we're gonna run all the way back to lane. You can see Penton is kinda like waiting. Here I use the Essence Reaver enhanced ulti to get damage onto the Braum as well as the minion wave. Penton is able to go in onto Braum and finish off the kill. Twitch has probably escaped with his invisibility, so we're not going to be able to get the Twitch, but getting a pick onto Braum is also pretty good. There's the Twitch. So here you can see I try to full combo him, but not quite enough damage. Either way, it chases him off the tower, so we are able to pick up the tower regardless, which is also good. Of course, Vi is still missing, but without her team here, if Vi goes in alone, I'm not too afraid of her, so no reason to be scared. Here, me and Nami are going to back. Infernal Dragon is 45 seconds from coming up, so ideally we can pick up some items. I do finally get my boots as well as my Manamune. And of course, I do have decent amount of stacks on the tier already because of how early we got the tier, so it's not going to take too long to evolve the Manamune into the Mirror Mana, which is the whole idea of getting the tier early. So now we're in the area, getting mid lane priority, of course, before the dragon. Now here, we spot the Vi, trying to get some poke damage on the Vi, but she runs away before we can actually poke. Now here, this is a very interesting thing happens. A fight breaks out in bot lane. Vi is actually rotating down, and now with our jungler at the bot lane as well, and Vi at the bot lane as well, obviously dragon's not going to be happening. So here, we're actually rotating down to see if we can help out in the fight, and we do manage to get a pick onto Volibear, although they did get a kill on Ornn. So basically, both of the top laners are now down. So here, Penton and Vi once again are still here, so it's highly unlikely Dragon's gonna get done here. So you can see Twitch and Braum are actually pushing down, and we are doing the same on the opposite side of the map. So we end up trading tower for tower here. And now is probably the time to start rotating toward the Dragon. So here I'm just gonna clear out this wave and get the push on this lane first. And then I'm just gonna hit over and just walk towards the Dragon. So here, I'm sending in my ulti to see if I can help out in the fight here. I actually end up hitting the Braum, which gives Penton enough damage to finish off the kill onto the Braum. So cross map ulti working out for once. And here I'm just gonna walk over through the mid lane onto the Dragon. Here Dragon's getting done by Vi and Zeri. Vi unfortunately secures the Dragon already. However, we did get 2 kills onto the bot lane. And Vi and Volibear as well as Zeri are all on the run. Zeri, it looks like no escape for her. We are able to pick up the kill onto the Zeri. So here I was chasing for Volibear, but Volibear is a little bit too far away for me to reach. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the minions instead. So here, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we did get our Mirror Mana evolved in that bot lane fight just now. So as I said, getting the tier early means that of course you're gonna get your Mirror Mana a lot more quickly, and you can see here that we have huge spikes. Like this is a really good curve for Ezreal compared to the other build, where you spike early when you get Sheen, and then you spike again when you get your your Essence Reaver, and then of course you're gonna charge up your Mirror Mana really fast and get another spike. And now you can see we got Tri Force and we get another spike. So really even like sort of curve for Ezreal with this build, which if that's what you like, this is definitely the build for you. So here we got push in the top lane, and mid lane is kind of neutral at the moment. Baron is of course up now. We're gonna take the red buff. And here we're just heading over to the lane to farm this huge minion wave. Now here I'm just going to use my ulti to clear out this minion wave because this wave is a little bit too fat. Ezreal has horrible wave clearance. It's going to take way too long for me to clear that wave. So I'm just going to use my ulti to just finish the job, and now we can just recall and get more items. So here, of course, I'm going to just hit back out. Random ward there, just going to destroy the ward. And as we all know, once again, like Baron is the only thing that's up. So here I'm trying to secure the Skull Crab to ensure we have vision on the Baron. So here we do pick up the Skull Crab, right as Volibear just shows up. Tries to get the steal on the Skull Crab, but doesn't manage to do so. And here, we're just sticking in the mid lane. Basically, we're just camping in the mid lane because mid lane is at the center of the map. So anywhere we need to rotate, it's the easiest to rotate from the mid lane. Pantheon is in the bot lane, and of course Ornn is on opposite lane. Here the enemy team tries to engage onto Nami, but Nami is able to run away, so enemy team doesn't really end up achieving very much. So here I get the ulti just for a little bit of damage as well as to clear out the minion wave. And yeah, honestly, it's a pretty neutral game at the moment, and as well as a really strong neutral game because he has poke. So you can see here that in the neutral game, we can just walk up, poke a little bit, walk back, and keep repeating the process, and it's going to be pretty advantageous. So here, Pantheon just end up going in, gets a kill, and here Twitch is dead as well. We get the kill onto the Twitch, and here my team's chasing for Volibear. I'm just going to go for the tower because pretty sure Volibear is going to escape as he does here. So here we get the mid lane tower. Only Volibear, Vi, and Zeri are left alive. So here I was actually thinking we could siege the inhibitor tower, but it seems to be a little bit difficult. Vi ends up going in for some reason. I'm gonna Arcane Shift away, and you know, we're instead just gonna retreat here. I think we could have actually gone for Baron maybe instead, because enemy bot lane was dead. But we ended up trying to push down inhibitor and did so unsuccessfully. So maybe a Baron would have been a better idea here. But anyways, here we back and get a QSS, and once again I get a QSS because there's so many things I can QSS. Volibear, stun, Twitch, like poison maybe, as in the W when he pops on the floor, Braum, concussive blows, Zeri's slows, and like of course Vi's general kit, which you can QSS if you press it before you get hit by the CC. So here I'm getting run down by the Volibear, and here I'm just gonna have to hop away. Almost got the concussive blows stacked onto me. So here I'm standing in the back line trying to just get my DPS onto someone. Vi just ignores me, so I'm just going to kill Vi. Next target is Volibear. I can't reach him unfortunately, so we're going to go ahead and fall back onto the dragon. It's spawning in about 10 seconds time, so no need to have any unnecessary risk here. Pantheon's actually pinging for the Baron, which I don't think is a bad idea, but no one is actually moving to the Baron. We're all moving to the dragon, so I was willing to move to the Baron if my team did, but no one ends up moving to the Baron, so I'm just going to pick up the dragon here and secure the double dragon. Alright, so here we decide to go straight from dragon to the Baron instead of recalling, which is kind of a strange call, but Vi is actually dead, so it's not really the worst idea in the world. There is vision though, because of the skull shrine, so they definitely know that we're doing this, but the Baron is pretty squishy, so I'm pretty sure that we can get the Baron real quick. Volibear comes in, I just exhaust him, change DC, and he's dead. Vi is now coming in. So here I'm just body blocking the Vi from getting to the Baron, and Baron is still pretty high HP, so she can steal it. So here we are able to secure the Baron. Zeri and Braum come in as well. Sorry, Twitch and Braum try to come in and stop us. Zeri's getting chased down by Ahri, and here we're chasing down the Braum and the Twitch, trying to kill both of them. We get the kill onto the Braum as well as the Twitch, and pretty much it's ace except for the Zeri being alive. And here I'm just going to pick up the fruit, and using the Baron we can actually possibly try to push down a tower because everyone's dead except for Zeri, or we could just recall and reset and of course get items. Doesn't look like I'm going to do that because I'm picking up all the fruits. Don't think I have any huge item purchase, which is probably why I'm not recalling. Next item is of course going to be Sorela's Grudge, and it's a pretty expensive item, so probably don't have enough gold for that yet. So here you can see we're using the Baron to push on all lanes. Ahri's pushing top, and me and Nami pushing mid, and Ornn is pushing bot. So you can see our collapse onto Ahri is definitely coming. Here I'm going to launch the ult to help her out a little bit, getting the chunk there. Pantheon ults in to help her out, and now the enemy team finds themselves out of position. Here I'm just going onto the Volibear and just basically just killing him down. He does a lot of damage though, so I actually found myself in a little bit of trouble there, but no big deal, we managed to finish off the kill. And now we're trying to target the Zeri as well as the Vi. Zeri does end up going down here, and we're going to also be able to pick up the tower in this lane. Braum is struggling to actually defend against the Ornn, who's also trying to push in the other lane. And we're on the opposite side of the map trying to push in this lane. So Vi and Twitch are trying their best to defend against us, but they can't really do that. So we're able to pick up the tower. Vi tries to ult in, I'm not too sure why. Ends up dying for her efforts. And here, honestly, if we wanted to, we could have tried to end the game, but we decided to have a little bit of fun, and we decided to go for like KDA. And I end up actually tanking a tower shot and actually dying to Twitch's expunge, which is kind of troll there. So I just randomly give over a shutdown to the Twitch, which could be game losing, could be a huge throw play by me there. But unfortunately for us, I end up dying, and basically the play is over, and we can't end the game either. So honestly, it's a huge mistake there to like just go for kills when you could have just ended the game. So honestly, that was a huge like throw kind of play, and huge troll play from me. But anyways, it looks like it's already happened, so we're just gonna move on, and we're just gonna see what we can do from here. Now Elder Dragon is of course up at this point. No one's gone for it because we've been sieging using our Baron, so no need to go for Elder Dragon when we have Baron. Now the Elder Dragon is up, and basically all I need my team to do is to stall for time until I am back up and alive. Just nobody die, defend the Elder Dragon, make sure enemy team doesn't get the Elder Dragon, and then we can just go for Elder Dragon ourselves, and just be happy with that. Unfortunately though, huge fight ends up breaking out. My team's starting to throw the game. I'm not in the fight, I'm still walking, you can see on the minimap, I'm still walking past the blue buff area, and my team is just completely throwing the game here. Everybody's dying. Only me and Nami are left, and this looks like an Elder Dragon angle for the enemy team. So here I know I'm going to have to save the game here. I try to hide in the bush and get a pick onto Zeri. Unfortunately I'm put really low, so I'm going to have to flash away. Here I know I need to get a snipe onto Zeri and or Braum. So here I'm just going to launch the ulti. I get the hit onto Zeri and Braum, and I end up picking up a double kill onto both of them, which honestly just saved the game for me and my team. So I kind of made a huge throw play by dying at the Nexus, enemy Nexus, but I then made a game-saving play of killing Zeri and Braum to prevent them from taking the Elder Dragons. I say that that's even. So now without the Zeri and the Braum, with only Twitch and Volibear on the Baron, they couldn't actually do it because Vi was busy actually clearing out the wave. Because obviously we have double inhib, so we're gonna have a lot of pushing priority on both mid and top lane. So now you can see Volibear is busy clearing the mid lane, and Twitch is busy clearing the top lane. This is a perfect time to do the Elder Dragon, and the other two members of the enemy team are dead. Only Vi is the one that could come here and steal, but she's on the top wave. So here as a 5-man unit, my team is obviously just going for the Elder Dragon. Volibear tries to ult in. I'm just going to jump away, get the kill onto the Volibear. Vi tries to come in. We're just going to kill Vi before the Elder Dragon gets low. Then we're going to hop over, kill the Twitch. And then we can just secure the Elder Dragon. And off of this, we should be able to win the game. All we had to do is actually we don't have to do anything because the enemy team has just surrendered, so I guess I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. So thank you guys for watching the video, and goodbye.